Hello, everybody. I am Forever DM, otherwise known as Rinicus, otherwise known as Ben, however you want to address me. I'm gonna jump right into it. It's my first YouTube video, so don't expect too many flashy things. No camera editing, no video editing software whatsoever. Just something here to get the word out, to be able to use in your homebrew approved D&D 5th edition games. So the first one I'm going to talk about is one of my own creation. It is the Path of the Shieldbearer Barbarian. The Barbarian of the Shieldbearer path has realized that a shield doesn't have to be used just defensively. They can use it to make devastating attacks, push their targets, and help control the battlefield, basically hulking defensive masters that you should not want to be near unless they're on your side. I will put a link in the description to where I posted it onto the D&D Beyond website, so you can follow along or just read it and not have to hear my voice. So the first thing they get when they choose the archetype at 3rd level is basically the whole meat and potatoes of this build, where um, you gain only the benefits while you're wielding a shield. So bear in mind that you can still use the alternative armor class option of the unarmored defense feature of the Barbarian while also wielding a shield. So this does not conflict with that ability. In fact, it helps improve upon it. So shield focus is what they get at 3rd level when they choose the archetype, um, and they gain 4 benefits. The first of which is they gain an additional 1 to armor class while they're raging, and again while holding a shield. Um, Also, if they take the attack action on their turn, they can use a bonus action to try and shove that creature within 5 feet of you using your shield. Basically, it's 1/3 of the shield master feat, specifically on purpose, so that I didn't completely just give them the shield master feat. And if you want to take the shield master feat, you will gain other abilities, so the feat isn't completely worthless, but also I wanted to get the main feature of it so that you didn't feel you had to get the Shield Master feat for this build. So the second thing they get, um, the third thing, I'm sorry, is if you take the attack action on your turn, you can use a bonus action to attack with your shield. So already there's 2 different bonus actions you can take, so you have that kind of option of which to do. As well as, so this one had to be included in there, that your shield is now treated as a light weapon that deals 1d4 bludgeoning damage, and that does scale with your level. So it increases 1d6 at 7th level, 1d8 at 11th level, 1d10 at 15th, and finally 1d12 at 19th level. So we move down to the 6th level ability, which is called Bulwark. Whenever you take damage from a weapon attack, you can use a reaction to reduce the damage by an amount equal to your proficiency bonus. Basically gives you a reaction ability as well as those 2 bonus actions, so you kind of have options to use with that. And in addition, Bulwark also makes it so that whenever you make a weapon attack using your shield, you can expend one of your own hit dice to increase the damage of the roll by the same size die. And you are a barbarian, so that is a d12 hit die. So then you can basically gain the immediate 19th level bonus of changing your weapon damage with the shield to a 1d12. It's just you sacrifice your own hit dice to do that, which I feel is very barbarian. It feels like a reckless thing to do. You get rid of your hit dice, you sacrifice sort of healing later to deal damage now, and I feel like that was a very barbarian ability. Plus, no features include the hit die with uh, a different way of using it. So it's kind of like a currency that I felt was inaccessed by anything that's currently in the game as the time of posting this video. The next to last thing they get is Primal Warcry. Um, again, you'll see a theme here that kind of ties into everything. You can use your action to bolster the resolve of your allies. You can spend up to 2 barbarian hit dice. Remember, like that currency I really wanted to tap into, to have any number of creatures that can hear you gain temporary hit points equal to 1d12 for each die you rolled, plus your level in this class. And I felt that that was very specific. And you can use this feature a number of times equal to your charisma modifier, um, with a minimum of 1. Um, again, I felt that this was a very strong ability. Um, Granted, it is limited by the fact that you have to spend hit dice, but I also feel like a barbarian wouldn't care and just constantly use their hit dice, which is why it's semi-limited, where you can spend 0, 1, or 2. Um, but I still felt that that was a little broken, so I did tie it to your charisma modifier, which I feel as a barbarian might not be that high, but you could theoretically max that out just so you could constantly do that. Um, but then again, I do like having a lot of passive abilities on a shield, well, on a barbarian completely, because I do feel that they're already kind of niche, where a barbarian is a very specific mindset. Um, so passives really just kind of help amplify the what you're probably already going to be doing anyways. So Primal Warcry also makes it so that additionally you are completely immune to being disarmed, and also the prone condition. So it really maximizes that unarmored movement that barbarians get, where yes, a barbarian could theoretically spend less of their entire turn of their movement getting up from being prone, because they have that extra movement to do, but now that really makes it so that you emphasize getting into position even better, because prone just isn't the thing that can happen to you. I do feel that might be a little overpowered. I might get some backlash on that, but I'm firm with my decision. Um, Play test it if you think you don't like it. And the last thing, the capstone that kind of ties everything all together to make it really that shield-focused barbarian, is called Shield Supremacy. Although most barbarians probably wouldn't be able to pronounce the word supremacy. Um, Whenever you successfully shove your creature with your shield, which is easy for you to do because I've given you the ability to do it with a bonus action with your third level feature. Um, in addition to shoving them with your field, you can choose one of 3 different effects. One, you may move to the square the target was in before you shoved it, so you can kind of immediately, you push them 5 feet, and then you also get to move to the space where they were before you push them, so you can kind of direct your opponent into a more advantageous position, while not also sacrificing the ability to have them based by you. Or you can reduce the target's armor class by 1 until the start of its next turn. So if you went first and they're kind of last, which is like the best condition for you to use that, you can have all your allies hit an easier target. Or finally, the last thing you can choose is that it suffers a 1d4 penalty on all of its saving throws until the start of its next turn. So if you have a lot of spellcasters that are coming up behind you, but before it, which is very specific, which is why it's a 1d4 and not just a flat 1 like the armor class, because that is a very specific circumstance for you to be able to do it. But it's there as an option, hence why there's 3. They're all 3 very different scenarios of why you would want to do each. And then finally, you can use the versatile weapon damage number of a 2-handed weapon as if it, even though you only have it in one hand, if you're wielding a shield. Basically, for example, um, a bastard sword, or however you call it in your games, the 1.5-hander, the Zweihander, if you're making a other campaign, whatever you call it. It's a D8 if it's in one hand, but you can use a D10 for its weapon damage rolls if you have it two-handed. Basically, what that means is you can use that and a shield and still have the 1d10. so you get that little bit more damage um, with that, with the Barbarian. So that's it. That's everything. If you enjoy it or it sparks your interest, by all means, you go ahead and use it. Like I said, I'll put that link in the description below of where you can access it on D&D Beyond, completely free. It's yours for the use. I appreciate any and all feedback that you can get from it to me. That would be great, so that I can update it or tweak it accordingly. Um, and yeah, I have plenty of other subclasses that I have posted. If you specifically want me to talk about one of them, um, post a comment down below to tell me what you think I should do next. And if you want to read it, I'll put a link in the description where you can find all of my subclasses that I've posted on D&D Beyond so far. There is one for every single published um, D&D 5th edition class, except for anything that was posted by Matt Mercer, because so the Blood Hunter and I just dropped my phone, the Blood Hunter and things like that, as well as the Artificer, because it's still a little bit new to me, and I feel it's already pretty um, self-targeted in itself. But I think I do have an idea in mind of what I want to do, and so yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff that's completely free. If you want to spice up your D&D campaigns, by all means, take anything I have to do. And with that, I will see you all later. This has been Forever DM. I don't know how to end videos yet, so there you go.